Right, well, so today we've got four main subject areas that we're going to look at. We're going to talk about the key documents that you need to have prepared for the Australian job markets, how and when to start positioning yourself for the market before you arrive in Australia, how people can go about networking and building professional relationships, which I know is really important here, and finally the power of LinkedIn and why you need to have a strong LinkedIn presence. So if we go straight to the first section, the key documents that you need to have prepared for the Australian job market. Obviously, the resume is the key one. Do you want to talk us through some of those?
Yeah, so obviously the resume is your passport into a job. You know, if you don't have a strong resume, even if you've got other skills, and, you know, I'll talk later on about LinkedIn, but even if your LinkedIn is strong, people will, if they find you on LinkedIn, they're always going to request your resume. So the resume is the passport into, you know, employment. And so it needs to be strong. And some of the things that, you know, some of the key things in a resume is to have, obviously, your contact details. Now, I know people go, oh, well, that's pretty obvious, but I have received resumes across my desk where there was either the name missing of the person or certain contact details were missing. So that's number one. People need to know how to get back to you. So you do need to have strong contact details, have all your contact details on it, and especially have your LinkedIn link on your resume. So many, even now to this day, I still see resumes without a LinkedIn connection or a link. And so people, here's the thing about LinkedIn. If you don't have a presence on LinkedIn, you will be judged by recruiters. If you can't be bothered using the professional networking site in the world, you can't be bothered using that real estate to capture your space and present yourself, you're often judged. You know, recruiters will go, well, this person can't be bothered with taking time and effort in that space. You know, why am I going to put them forward to my clients for a role?
And can I just ask you there, you were saying about key contact information on there. For people that haven't moved yet to Australia, who are maybe sending out their resumes ahead of the move, what's the best way of...
So email, because email will always be consistent. So people generally tend to keep the same email for, you know, all of their life, you know. And obviously, here's the thing I want to say about emails, make sure it's a professional email. So, you know, when we were younger, you know, we had party girl 66, whatever. That is a no-go. Like, try and have a professional email. So preferably your name, surname. Yeah. Obviously, you know, if you're John Smith, that's going to be taken. So use a number or a digit or your full name, your name, your second name, your surname, or turn the surname around, you know, Smith and then John and initial, whatever. Do variations of it, but keep it professional, because it's all about making a first impression. And if you come with, you know, the beer master or the party girl email, it really is not going to go down well. I know it's just an email, but people judge everything. There's so many tests that are happening along the way of job application. And if you miss those tests or you fail those tests, especially in tight job markets, you get discounted.
Is it still worth putting your home address where you're based at the time of sending the resume in?
No, I actually discourage people of putting any address. First of all, you don't want your information landing in the wrong hands, and you don't know where that resume could end up. If people are passing it around, you know, because sometimes one recruiter will get it, but they don't have a job in that particular field, so then they'll pass it on to their colleagues. And so resumes can go a number of places. And so I discourage people. I always say, if you want to, just put the suburb you live in and the state that you live in. So, you know, I live in Melbourne, so I would have Melbourne, Victoria on my resume. That's it. And then I would have my mobile number. So obviously you don't have an Australian mobile number yet. So that's why I say the email is the most important contact detail to have on it. And then your LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn is going to be, should be there regardless, whether you're living in the UK, in the US, New Zealand. That LinkedIn profile, you should have your presence there and have it in your resume.
And should your if you've got a visa already, you've been granted the visa, should that be anywhere?
If you're coming in as a migrant, yes, I would say, you know, because that's just one less thing someone has to worry about. at all times make it easy for the recruiter or the hiring person. So whatever information you can provide where it's not going to lead to a question. So especially if you're coming in from another country, you know, and you've got your visa, just put it on there so they know, oh, this person's ready to work. As soon as they land, they're ready to work. And I don't need to try and figure that whole thing out.